grab me a rag? Alright, so the first thing I did here was mark a line across the drive shaft so that we can align it right when we get back. And then we're gonna take out these 4 bolts and slide the drive shaft down so that we can pull it out of the transfer case up here in front. So that's what we'll do next. We'll pull out these 4 bolts. I don't know if I can just get it back on there.
Jake, can you get the ratchet?
No, I'm just going to use the air for that part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's another 24 weeks for the BMW step, at least. We're all the way around that same amount of time.
How about your gun, Jake?
I need a fitting for it.
Oh,
The other
okay.
one blew out.
Never mind.
It's the same amount.
Yeah. It's alright. We'll figure this out. I can't get this on here now. That was one, but... There we go. Yeah, I guess. Let's see if I can get the gun in this one. Walk this one out.
Should probably put some oil in that gun. You alright?
Alright, so we got the drive shaft down. It did require a bit of hammering to get this thing loose. So don't be afraid to whack it a few times and it will come down. And then we'll pull it out of the yoke in the front. Somebody want to come down here and help me pull this thing out?
Is it already the bolts up in the front?
There's nothing to unbolt, it just slides out of this yoke. Got it?
Yep.
There it goes.
It's dripping.
Alright, it's fine. A little bit of mess, we'll clean that up. You want to just lay it on the ground?
Yep.
Yep. There we go. Drive shaft is free. Let's see if we can see that better in night vision mode.
Here.
Oh, there you go. So that's free. And then back here, if you could get a look back here too again, Jake. Alright. Alright. Good to go to the next step. Alright, so the next thing you have to do is take off the front propeller shaft, which is right here. And as you can see, we got the bolts out. If you can see that. Got the bolts out of the yoke side of the rear part of it. And then we got to come and get the bolts out of the front side. And then we'll pull that shaft out. Alright, so we've got the forward propeller shaft off. So the next thing we're going to do is remove this bracket here that mounts the catalytic converter so that we can get that out of the way. Alright, so this bracket, we were able to unbolt this, slide it back, and then spin it back, spin it out of the way so that we could totally remove it here and get it out of the way so that when we drop the the transfer case, that it's not in the way. So on to the next step, which is going to be removing these bolts here underneath and actually dropping this thing down. Alright, so the next actual thing we need to do is remove this vent hose right there. And there's a little clamp on it, and we'll take that clamp off and remove the hose and leave it in place to put on the new one. Alright, kind of hard to see, so I'm going to go into night vision here and see if that helps at all. Alright, so we've got the top bolts. This is the transfer case right here. We've got the top 3 bolts, which are tough. Got them loose. Leaving the bottom 3, which is that one right there, that one right there, and then this one around the corner here. Alright, we got the jack underneath so that we can take the weight off of it. So we're going to get after those. This is the tough part. Might be a little hard to show you this on the video, but we'll do our best. Is getting this down. So we'll get those 3 bolts out and we'll get this thing down and see where we go from there.
Explain what you had to do on the top bolt.
Oh, on the top bolt, it's a very tight space up there, so I end up having to use a crow's foot to get in there and crack that nut loose. And the crow's foot actually works really good, so that's a tip for you if you're having a struggle with that. Alright, we got it out finally. It was quite an operation because these bolts were corroded in there. I'm sure you can see that. This bolt in particular was just so corroded that we had to get a wedge in there and hammer on it and with a sledgehammer and just get it to crack loose finally. And then it slid out and down. And I'll see if I can get you a shot of underneath here. So, there's the spindle of the transmission. And we need to do a little cleanup because you can see there's a little bit of roll over here from putting a wedge in there, but that's not a sealing surface, so we'll file that down and get it nice and clean so it sits in flat. So the next step is to get prepped for putting the other one in. Alright, so now we put the new rear seal in, rear output shaft seal. That's in place, and we just did a little bit of cleanup around the rim there that was a little bit damaged from getting the transfer case off. And now we're ready to put the new transfer case in.